And let me tell you something. When you want to talk about not letting us see anything, I'm talking sleeping mask, goggles, in-ears, headphones, guiding us to the challenge. And they're like, people are like, oh, there's no way they got it. Oh, yes, they do. It took about 2 hours to get to every challenge.
Okay. Well, are you a big pickleballer or?
Yeah, I'm a pickleball guy. The
Okay.
bug bit. Yeah, man, the bug bit me, and it's just good, because like as you get older, sports get out of your life. You got to find something to be competitive, So I
100%.
turned to pickleball. I turned to pickleball. Was men's league softball for a little bit, but I'm more pickleball now.
Do you go to like those pickleball centers that they have, or you're like in a league, or like how deep into it do you go?
So we have like a local court,
Yep.
pretty close to where I live, and I just have a group of buddies. All of us go out there and get after it. And yeah, dude, it's fun, man. It's fun.
That's sweet. I love it. Listen, I almost didn't know I would be talking to you today. Well, I expected you to last to the end, first of all, but like last week, since Janae couldn't, wasn't available for this because maybe she's on Love Island right now, so I couldn't put it together. But I was like, I was offered a spoiler and I refused to take it, Biggie. So I told the people coordinating this, I'm like, you know what? Here's a list of people I want to talk to, Biggie, and like I think I threw in Peter, I think, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to know if they're eliminated or not. Surprise me, because I refuse to watch the screeners and I refuse to know the thing unless I watch it live. Does
I
that make me a
respect that.
super fan?
I respect that so much. I respect it so much because I'm going to be honest with you. If I had your temptation, no shot I'd wait. I want to know. I want to know everything that's going on. So I respect the hell out of it, dude.
It's discipline. I mean, I love the show and I love watching it live on TV. That like I refuse to get any other sources of information. I need that experience. Having an ice cream. That's like my routine. I have some ice cream watching the show and just be as nervous as you guys are probably at the eliminations.
Well, see, and that's what's crazy about it is like, I have a bunch of buddies who ask me, they're like, so have you seen all the episodes yet, before they come out? And I was like, no, absolutely not, dude. Like, I'm watching everything live with y'all, which is
Yep.
crazy because I know what happens, but I also don't know a lot of what happens because of conversations that I missed out on or people in their confessionals. Like there's a ton of stuff that I missed out on that I had no idea about. So that's always interesting to see that. So,
And you get to see the locations now because you guys are usually, I mean, you're either in goggles or in the bus closed off. So now you get to see the places sort of by watching the show, right?
Jim, you know what? I get back home. My dad asked me, did you see a lot of places? Was it beautiful? Dad, I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything, Jim. I'm locked into a bus. I saw nothing, outside of the challenges. And let me tell you something. When you want to talk about not letting us see anything, I'm talking sleeping mask, goggles, in-ears, headphones, guiding us to the challenge. And they're like, people are like, oh, there's no way they got it. Oh, yes, they do. It took about 2 hours to get to every challenge because we were blindfolded, hands on each other's shoulders, leading into there every single time. And it was that was the only time we got to see anything. Now, what I'll tell you is that made the locations and the challenges way more special because we
Yeah.
had no idea what we're walking into. We don't know where the hell we are. We don't know what the challenge is about to be, where we're at. And so the first time our goggles go clear, actually seeing like where we're at and just especially like on the mountains and stuff,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Be Is there a way? Do you like have? I'd imagine myself in this position. I'd have claustrophobia because like, what do you do when your eyes are open but you can't see anything? Like, and you're wearing those goggles for extended time. It's not like a 5 minute, ride with the goggles here. How do you kind of get over this claustrophobia, this weirdness? Because we're not used to not seeing things, you know what I mean? And having basically being sort of blinded. Like, how do you mentally adjust to that? Do you keep your eyes closed? Do you try to like nap or think about like I don't know how you guys dealt with that stuff because it's so claustrophobic and weird of an experience to not be able to see.
It was the worst. It was awful because I'm
Yeah.
a guy. Look, I love beautiful things. I love looking around. I like people
Yeah.
watching. I like to use my eyes. I like to use what God gave me. And so to not be able to do that is brutal. It was terrible. Honestly, it was a learning curve because for like the first week it was miserable. Because
Yeah.
like you can't see, you can't hear, you have no idea where you're at. Like it was awful. But after a while, you kind of get used to it, and it is what it is. But the interesting thing about it is like when we're blindfolded and we can't see or hear, that's typically right when we're going into a challenge. So being blindfolded, having to wait to go into a challenge, like you get kind of tired. It's like, it's like you kind of want to go to sleep. And then
Yeah.
they're like, all right, it's time for the challenge. And then they go clear and you're like, damn, it's time to wake up now. So it was a learning curve, but shit, man, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was if that's what I have to deal with to be able to do everything I did on the show, that's fine.
Right. Yeah,
That's fine.
exactly. I mean, but yeah, it's something you need to train yourself mentally to just like get sort of, you never get used to it, but just like the ability of having your vision taken away, you gotta, keep your senses going and alive and not, yeah, like you said, get disoriented and try to like fall asleep. It's all part of this thing to get you guys disoriented right before a challenge, right? So they know
Sure,
what they were doing.
for sure, 100%, 100%.
Do you have a favorite location? I mean, it's great to talk to you that you're still alive on the show. I've been doing these interviews, they're like postmortems, obituaries. Everyone's like reflecting on their time. They're dead off the show in a sense, but you're still very much alive, in contention on it. So this is really a unique perspective we get here. To this point, what was your sort of favorite either challenge or location that kind of stuck with you? I'm guessing everyone sort of had their thing that their moment of like, wow, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. For sure. One of them would definitely be, and I wish it got more screen time because it
Uh-huh.
was it was one of the hardest physical challenges I've ever done. But the challenge in episode 2, on the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
because it took us like 2 hours to get to the top of the mountain, and so when our goggles finally went clear, it was just, I mean, it was gorgeous. It was unbelievable. And then probably outside of that, probably Austria Challenge 2 in the mountains. It was just, the air was like so clean. It was
Mm.
beautiful. Mountains in the distance. Now, the yodelers coming over the hill did scare the shit out of me. I'm going to be
Okay,
honest with
listen, I was talking about this too prior. Like, this to me looked like that movie Midsommar. This is not, it's
you.
all
Yes,
quiet. There's no
correct.
people, and there's like a bunch of yodelers. It felt like a horror movie in the daytime, honestly.
I didn't like that. To be honest with you, they started coming over the hill, and my heart kind of sank. To be honest with you, but from just a view standpoint, it was so beautiful. It was incredible, and like you'll have to see. Maybe that doesn't end up being the best view I saw the whole time. I don't
Right.
know. You're gonna have to watch and see because maybe we go to even more beautiful places.
There
Who
you
knows?
go. You're still
Uh,
at least guaranteed one more place. We know that going into it.
Give me one more.
Hey, when you watch this, now that you sort of we're watching it, we're all watching it together. Did you know Rick and Peter had this alliance? Did you guys have a sense about this whole thing, how deep it was? When was the
So
moment you realized, or maybe you just realized it now watching it, that they were so deeply into it?
Well, I never knew that they were that deep into it because
Wow.
what you don't see is so I understand with like the editing of a show, it's like you got to play out certain storylines.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, Me and Rick talked for hours and hours and hours every day. I mean, he was my bunkmate, and we would talk at night for like hours. And I started to work with Rick like very early on. Like at the end of episode 1, when Josh kind of berated him on the bus, I kind of felt bad for him because like nobody would talk to him. So I was like, well, that's fine. I was like, if y'all don't,
Mm.
I will. And so I mean, I was very close with Rick. Like outside of Mac and Shane, I was probably closest with Rick. So I just kind of had my blinders onto that, and yeah, I just obviously like you would see him go up to the front and talk, and but I never thought even for a second that you know he was he was putting Peter like ahead of me just because of like the amount of time we spent together talking and that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
hey, I respect it, dude. Game's game. I respect it.
Yeah. I was wondering always too, maybe when I get to talk to Peter at some point, like, here's the Bachelor coming on the show. I thought like the women on the bus, whoever would be maybe swooning over him. I mean, I think Kim had a thing for Peter, but like, I wonder what was his reception? Because he's sort of a celebrity coming off of Traitors and a Bachelor. This is the Bachelor right here too. What's sort of the reception? I don't think you guys were that impressed with Peter, at least the way it's being edited and shown. I thought Peter's going to get all this love and attention too.
So here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Outside of like a couple people on the bus, none of us watch reality TV. The last reality TV that I had watched was Jersey Shore in like 2011.
Oh man.
I could not have had a clue less who him or Janae were. Now, I understand that the OGs kind of came across as a little standoffish, but like what people have to realize is like we had been on that bus at that point for probably 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and we eliminated 3 people. So when you add two more, and it's like we'd only eliminated one person after 2 weeks, like that was kind of brutal. That that being thrown to the side, Peter was like a great dude, like unbelievable dude, just salt of the earth, good guy. I loved Peter. Had he come on
Uh-huh.
when all of us came on, he would have been like one of my top guys who I worked with, 100%. But just the circumstances and the cards he was dealt, having to come on late, that kind of put him in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too loyal to the people who I had already gone through everything with. I was like, there's no way I'm going to screw them over, and just jump ship immediately when Peter gets on the bus.
Yeah,
So.
no, that's loyalty. That's staying true to your core in that way. I'm fascinated about your background, the sports betting thing. How does one get into this? Okay, I suck at DraftKings and all those things that I do. How does one like make this a thing in their life to like figure this out? Because I feel like the math on these people who are in charge of this, they know things like fortune tellers. I feel like because the house always wins. How do you get into that?
Dude, it's just it's a lot of looking at the numbers. A lot of
Yeah.
times you can fade the public, and that's ways you can win. And there's other things you can do. Just kind of dive into the analytics. Build out a system to kind of spit you out a winner every now and then, but it doesn't always work. But no, man, it's just look. Me and my buddies have always bet on college football, college sports. NBA,
Yeah.
NFL, all that stuff. And I just kind of coupled that with my personality, and I made a social media a few years ago, and Instagram and a TikTok page. And yeah, man. And it's kind of morphed into more skits and kind of comedy sketches now. But yeah, it is fun, especially when football season rolls around. That was the hardest thing about being on this show
In
was
the
that
fall. That's
I
right.
missed the first part of football season. And that's like my prime time. Like that's when I make a lot of my cheddar for the entire season. So being gone sucked. But yeah, it was good because as soon as I got back home, the first thing I did, I went over to my buddy's house and I watched college football for 12 hours. I don't even think I got off the couch. So yeah, that was good.
You got to make up the time for it. I totally get it. I'm a football. I'm more of an NFL junkie, but man, if I was away from it, it'd give me like uncomfortable feelings. Okay, for an extended period of time, especially on Sundays.
Yeah, 100%. And like the hardest thing was I really didn't even want to know. I was just so like into the game
Yeah.
that I didn't even want to know, like how I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. I didn't even want to know how they were doing because I knew if they lost, it was going to piss me off so bad. It was going to throw me into
Uh-huh.
like a tailspin. And so I didn't even ask what was going on. I didn't ask who was beating who. I was just so in the game. And that was hard because I am a diehard Georgia Bulldog fan. And so not being able to know that sucked, but it was worth it.
Oh, hell yeah. It's a once in a lifetime story experience. What's life been like for you since you gotten back? The adjustment from it and all that. I mean, what are you doing currently right now in your life in a sense?
Life's good, man. I've just been trying to grow my Instagram and my
Yeah.
TikTok page as much as possible. I do comedy sketches on both Instagram and TikTok, and yeah, man, just trying to grow that. Have a few things in the fire that we're working on at the moment, but yeah, dude, just trying to keep doing what I'm doing. Just trying to grow, build my brand, and yeah, hopefully something else comes up soon.
Yeah, I mean, you got a great follow. Throw it out. Throw out your social media here, so people can follow you. You got some really good content. I can vouch for that.
Appreciate it, brother. So the Instagram is at biggy.cookthebook, and that's Biggy. TikTok is Biggy Cook the Book. Those
There you go.
are the IG and the TikTok. And I have YouTube too, but honestly, I don't post a ton on there. I'm mainly an IG TikTok guy.
There you go. You found your platforms. Man,
That's it.
I'm so glad to talk to you. I'm really glad you're still on the show. You're one of my favorites. I think America's rooting for you too. It's really cool what you're doing. You're one of the comedic reliefs and one of the fun parts of the show. Even though the show's fun every way, but seeing you always and your reactions are gold, Biggie. So I hope you're still on there for weeks on weeks, and I'm glad you're still doing this run.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. And be sure you tune in to episode 8 because it is a banger.
Uh, it looks
Banger.
like it from the preview. So I'll be waiting like the whole world. I'm not spoiling anything for that one or trying to get ahead of that. But hey, hopefully I get to talk to you when you win this show at the end. We do the exit interview as the winner. So looking forward to connecting with you again.
Appreciate you, Jim. Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, anytime. Thanks, buddy. Talk to you later.